Stay around long enough at a visitation or a funeral, and you will hear some of the worst advice and some of the most misinterpreted scriptures ever. I remember specifically standing there one time with an earshot of a widow who had lost her younger husband in a tragic accident. A gentleman from the church came up to her and said, as he shook her hand, he said, I just want to remind you, so-and-so, that we have that promise from God in Romans 8:28 that says, all things work together for good. There's a reason for everything. I don't know how she stood there with a straight face and said, thank you, because I wanted to punch the guy right in the nose, in Christian love, of course, because that was the worst advice that anyone could have ever given and the worst interpretation of that scripture. But how many times have we heard it from other Christians? Well, we know all things work together for good. A marriage of 20 years breaks up. Well, God has a purpose. All things work together for good. Somebody loses their entire fortune that they put into a business because of a pandemic. Well, all things work together for good. Someone's child gets on drugs and they're having trouble getting them off of drugs. Well, God has a purpose. Everything works out for good, and on the sick advice goes. It's tragic, the misinterpretation of Scripture and what we misunderstand so many times. That's why this coming Sunday, October 17th, I am beginning a new series called Misunderstood. And we're going to look at some of the most misunderstood passages of Scripture and understand that what God really said was far more powerful than what some people only think he said. And we're going to come right out of the starting gate with that famous statement, all things work together for good. Because guess what? They don't. Tragedy happens. Problems are encountered. We make horrible choices and mistakes. All things don't always work out for good, at least, from our perspective. And we're going to talk about that this coming Sunday. And what did God really mean? Because I want to tell you, it's even more powerful when we understand the context and understand what he was really talking about. Do all things in our lives work out together for good? No. But there are things that happen that as a result of it will work out all the better. And we'll talk about it this coming Sunday. If you've ever faced a tragedy or you've ever heard some of that dumb advice that all things work together for good, this Sunday is for you. October the 17th, right here at Community Bible Church. We're located 1 mile west of I-95, 1 mile east of 441 at the corner of Griffin Road and Southwest 30th Avenue. We have 2 morning services, one at 9:45 a.m. and one at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And by the way, we stream our 11 a.m. service, so just go to our YouTube channel. You'll find us at Community Bible Church of Dania Beach. You can look us up there, or we send out our emails and text messages that will send the link right to you. If you're not on that list, send us an email to info@cbcfl.org, info@cbcfl.org. Ask to be put on the email list. If you want to receive the text messages, give us your cell phone number. That will, by default, then give us permission to text you. We'll see you this Sunday, because all things don't always work out for the good, but they can work out all the better. And we'll talk about it this coming Sunday. We'll see you soon.